Hi, welcome to this week's edition of Lunch Break with Amie and Kevin. I'm Amie Baca-Oehlert, your CEA president. Kevin is off on assignment today, and as you can see, I have a special guest here with me, Lori Goldstein, who wears many hats, including that of being the president of the CEA-Retired Council, and she is also a local school board member in the Adams 12 School District. So we're going to have a good conversation today with Lori wearing her school board hat as we talk to her about this upcoming school board election and what it's like to be a school board member, what it means, and of course how we as educators can support ensuring that we elect pro-public education members to our local school boards. So very excited to have you here with us today, Lori. And we'll just go ahead and jump right in. Why don't you talk to us about what is the role of a school board member and what kinds of decisions and what work do school board members do?
Okay, thank you, Amie, and thank you for having me here today. It's always a pleasure to come back to CEA.
After all, we do have to say you are a lifetime educator. You were a teacher for many, many years.
Yes, and I spent a lot of time here in this building. So anyway, to your question, a school board member is an elected official. They represent, depends on the school district, they either represent a portion of the district or they're elected at large. And in my case, in Adams 12, I represent a portion of the district, specifically the southwest corner of my district. And I'm one board member. And so as one board member, I don't have any power. I'm part of a group. And we function together. In my district, we have belief statements and we have operating agreements of how we behave as individuals and how we represent the board. For instance, out in public, I cannot speak for the board unless the board has voted to let me speak on their behalf. So it depends what model you use as a school district. We have policies. We're concerned with graduation rates. We're concerned with fiscal responsibility, and we are concerned about our one employee, the superintendent. He is the one person that we hire or don't rehire. So it works really well because it does leave the district. He hires the experts to run the district, to do the things in curriculum, transportation, risk management, financial, and all that kind of stuff. And we oversee to make sure that those policies are followed. They report to us. We have monitoring reports at every board meeting and we have a calendar that shows when we're going to address each monitoring report. We vote on charter school applications. We vote on purchases that are big purchases, like if you need 10 buses, we have to approve that. We also will vote on resolutions and for or against different legislations or ballot questions. We'll vote on proclamations to support special groups like Classified Employees Week or Teacher Appreciation Week. And then we also we will interact with those employee groups on occasion to find out what it is that means the most to them. So we do a lot of collaboration and listening to what our school district is doing.
So I think we've all seen we're in some very challenging times, and our school boards have been at the heart of a lot of attention because you've had to make some really difficult decisions. How do you all as a board and how do you as a board member, how do you make decisions and how do you work through some of these really difficult, challenging decisions when, yes, you have one employee, the superintendent, but your decisions can impact, hundreds of educators, students, the community. How do you deal with that as a school board member?
So I've been very fortunate that the people that I serve with on the school board are all kind of on the same page when it comes to these things. We went through this last 18 months and we had to make some very tough decisions. Whether or not to let kids come to school was the biggie. On one hand, you have the teachers who we want to make sure that we take care of their safety and their health. And on the other hand, you have the parents telling you, well, what do I do with my child? I have to work. And that really is something that really weighs heavily on us. But at the end of the day, when we make that decision, it's important that I can sleep at night and when I've made that decision. And I feel like we really did do a good job of getting through the last year. And now we're also trying to make sure that we get through this year. There's still a lot of PTSD out there.
And it's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing. And you know, if all it takes is to wear a mask, send my child to school with a mask, and protect all children, I'm really thankful that the health department actually came out with the edict that they did, because it did take a lot of pressure off of our school board, because we did have the health department saying our schools are going to be masked.
Yeah, I think absolutely these school board elections right now, we know as educators the importance of our school boards and the crucial decisions and the work that school board members do, and also the importance of collaborating and engaging and working together with school boards, because in the end we have a common goal, ensuring that every child, no matter where they live, what their zip code is, has access to a high-quality public education. And I think it is so important that we remember when we vote in this year's school board elections that we are looking for candidates that will support students, educators, and ensure that we have high-quality public schools for all students. Oftentimes I have members ask me, well, how do I get involved? How do I engage with my school board members? Or what is my role, since you said earlier you have policy governance? How do you as a school board member, how do you interact with educators, teachers, support staff? What does that look like, and how should those employees reach out to their school board members? Is that appropriate? What does that look like for you?
So one of the funnest things for me as a school board member is to go into schools and see what's going on in the classrooms. And I've made it very clear to educators in our district, invite me in. Mm-hmm. And we do have a lot of opportunities in our district. We have the whole STEM pathway in our district where they do what's called PBLs, or problem-based learnings, and they always need people on the panels. And I'll sign up for them whenever I get the chance. Invite them to come see what's going on. As a school board member, I feel very honored when an educator reaches out to me and says, I want you to see this in my classroom. I'll reach out to different schools that have different projects going on. If our Ed Foundation, for example, has closets in a lot of our classrooms with supplies for kids, clothing, food, resource closets, that's what they call them. And I'll go visit and see what's going on with that. I think, as a resident of the school district too, if you are as an educator, or even if you're just at a school, becoming part of the PTO or the school district the school accountability, because it gives you an opportunity for input. Go to school board meetings. For the most part, school board meetings are pretty boring because nobody really comes. Yeah. They come to public comment at times, like they have been recently, but as soon as the public comment is done, they all leave. So come see what it is that we're doing, and or even come and make public comment about something that you feel passionate about. But interacting with your school board members should not be scary, and it should be easy for you to do. And I would hope as a school board member that a school board member would welcome that.
Well, great. Well, Lori, thank you so much for being here today, but mostly thank you for all that you do, whether it's as the CEA-Retired president, sitting on the school board, being a mom, all the many, many things that you do, and of course your lifetime of being a dedicated, committed educator and CEA member. We appreciate you so much. It's been great to chat with you, and great reminder to get involved, be a part of the process, and let's not forget we have a very big election coming up on November 2nd. Many of your locals have ways that you can engage in school board elections as well as the election in general this fall. So reach out to your local, because elections matter, as we all know. So thank you all. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time on Lunch Break. Thanks again, Lori.
Thank you, and thank you, educators, for what you do.